Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our professional development session today. I am Peyton Watson, and I am excited to share some strategies for enhancing student engagement and critical thinking through effective questioning. As teachers, we know the power of a good question, and today we will explore how to leverage questioning to create engaging learning experiences, especially when integrating social studies and the arts, as outlined in our Topic 1 activity. Let's start by understanding why questioning matters. It is not just about getting the right answer, it is about fostering deep learning. Our objective today is to understand how effective questioning strategies can elevate student engagement and promote higher order thinking in our lessons. This is particularly relevant to our Topic 1 activity, where students became active historians and storytellers through theater. As stated in our prompt, questioning moves students beyond simple recall to problem solve and critically think. It is an essential component of engaging students in instruction that integrates social studies and the arts. We will be framing our discussion around the Webb's depth of knowledge, or DOK levels. DOK provides a common language to understand the cognitive complexity of tasks and questions. We will start with DOK Level 1, Recall and Reproduction. This level is foundational. It involves recalling facts, definitions, terms, or simple procedures. Students are essentially reproducing information they have already learned. Questions at this level are typically who, what, when, where questions, or those that ask students to list, define, or identify. They require simple recall. Looking at our Topic 1 activity, here are some DOK 1 questions we could use. Who are some important people in Colorado's history? What is one significant event that happened in Colorado's past? When did a notable event in Colorado's history take place? Where in Colorado did a specific historical event occur? Name two elements you can use to develop a character. These questions are great for activating prior knowledge and ensuring students have the basic building blocks before moving to more complex tasks. Moving to DOK Level 2, Skills and Concepts. At this level, students are asked to use their knowledge and understanding of concepts to explain, summarize, or apply information. It often involves making connections or performing simple procedures. Questions here might ask students to explain, summarize, classify, or compare and contrast. They require a bit more processing than a simple recall. For our Colorado's history and theater activity, DOK 2 questions could include how might the actions of a historical figure have impacted Colorado's development? Explain how movement and gesture can help a character show emotion in a scene. Compare two significant events in Colorado's history. How are they different or similar? Summarize the main idea of a historical text about Colorado. How can a character's voice change to show their personality? These questions help students begin to make sense of the information and apply their understanding. Now we get into higher order thinking with DOK Level 3, Strategic Thinking. This level involves reasoning, developing a plan or sequence of steps, and using evidence. It requires students to go beyond simple application of skills to solve problems or make judgments. Think questions that ask students to analyze, evaluate, formulate, or justify. They often involve problem solving in a new context or drawing conclusions from observations. In the context of students becoming active historians and storytellers, based on your research, what challenges did a notable individual from Colorado's history face and how did they overcome them? Formulate a short dramatic scene that effectively conveys the significance of your chosen historical subject. Justify your group's choice of historical event or individual for your dramatic scene. Analyze how your group plans to use movement, gesture, and voice to portray your character and their situation. How might a different approach to your dramatic scene change the audience's understanding of the historical event? These questions engage students to think critically about their research and their dramatic interpretations. Finally, DOK level 4 is extended thinking. This is the pinnacle of cognitive complexity, requiring complex reasoning and thinking over an extended period. It often involves conducting research or connecting concepts. Questions at this level ask students to design, synthesize, or prove concepts. They often require independent research. For an activity, pushing students to DOK 4 could look like this. Design a proposal for a new historical marker in Colorado, justifying its significance based on your research and dramatic portrayal. How does portraying a historical event through theater, movement, gesture, or voice deepen your understanding compared to just reading about it? Synthesize information from various sources to create a compelling historical narrative for your dramatic scene, explaining your creative choices. If you were to create a sequel to your dramatic scene, what historical events or developments would you explore next and why? Propose a new way to integrate social studies and the arts to teach another period of Colorado's history, explaining how it would engage students in deeper learning. These questions encourage students to apply their learning in new concepts. Now let's consider how we can use these questions in our assessments. For formative assessments during the activity, I propose think, pair, share during the collaborative planning and script development phase. As groups work on their storyboards, I would circulate and pose these questions. What key what key moments from your research will include in your storyboard to show the significance of your historical topic? How will your storyboard help your group communicate your ideas and plan your dramatic scene? What challenges might you encounter in translating your research into a visual storyboard, and how can you overcome them? The justification for this strategy is that it allows me to observe students collaboratively planning of both the historical content and the theatrical elements in real time. The questions encourage them to think critically about their choices, providing immediate feedback for adjustments before the final performance. For a summative assessment after the dramatic performances, I recommend historical scene reflection and critique. After all groups have performed, students would complete a written reflection using these questions. Identify at least two significant events or individuals from Colorado's history that were portrayed in the performances today. Choose one dramatic scene and explain how the group effectively used movement, gesture, or voice to convey character and situation, supporting your answer with specific examples. How did the dramatic performances help you understand the movements, challenges, or triumphs of the historical figures and events portrayed? Considering all of the performances, what overarching message or understanding about Colorado's history did you gain? And how did the integration of theater contribute to that understanding? This strategy assesses both their social studies, content, knowledge, and their ability to analyze the artistic expression. The questions prompt students to reflect on their learning and the effectiveness of the dramatic interpretations, clearly demonstrating higher order thinking and their ability to connect abstract connections to real world understandings. Beyond our questioning, digital tools can support students in developing their own higher order questioning skills and fostering collaborative discussions. The first tool I would like to highlight is Padlet. Padlet is an online bulletin board that is versatile. It supports higher order questioning because teachers can pose DOK 3 and 4 questions directly on a Padlet wall, and students can individually or collaboratively post their responses. It stimulates discussion because students can comment on each other's posts, leading to rich text based discussions and the exchange of ideas about historical events. This peer interaction is crucial for learning. It also promotes inquiry and critical thinking as students can use Padlet to share their initial research findings, pose questions to their peers, and critically evaluate the information presented by others, fostering important literacy skills. Another excellent digital tool is Flipgrid. This is a video digital platform. Flip supports higher order questioning because teachers can pose open ended questions, DOK 3 and 4 questions about historical interpretations or theatrical choices. Students then record short video responses, allowing for more explanations and reflections than they might provide in writing. It stimulates discussion as students can respond to each other's video posts, creating a visual and auditory discussion about the historical content. This encourages communication and the sharing of diverse ideas. It promotes inquiry and critical thinking. Students can use Flip to explain their reasoning behind character development or scene choices, demonstrating their understanding of complex historical concepts and how they translate them into dramatic expression. It also helps build confidence in public speaking. In conclusion, purposeful questioning is a powerful tool to engage students at all depths of knowledge levels. By moving beyond simple recording and incorporating questions that require analysis and evaluation, we empower our students to become truly active learners, just as they are active historians and storytellers in our Topic 1 activity. My call to action for all of us is to integrate these questioning strategies into our daily practices. By doing so, we can cultivate thoughtful learners in both social studies and the arts, bridging the gap between abstract concepts and real world understanding. Here are the scholarly sources that informed this presentation. Thank you for all your time and engagement today.